speeches. At this point, we'd like to thank all special guests we have here today, and we'd also like to remind everyone to please turn off all cell phones and other noise-making devices. Up next is Barrett Donovan introducing her as Lady Inkybine.
I met Barrett Donovan at the beginning of sophomore year, and I come across a new Barrett almost every day. There are 3 different types of Barrett Donovan that one must know to officially claim they really know Barrett. These consist of Ballard Barrett, Athletic Barrett, and HMI Barrett. Most of you know that Barrett went to Ballard High School her freshman year and succeeded in making an extremely intimidating reputation for herself. During pre-field hockey season of sophomore year, the girls heard Barrett Donovan would be joining us, and no one planned on being friends with this intimidating Ballard beast. The rumors of her toughness were confirmed on the first day of practice when she showed up with several brutal bruises that she claimed were from her dog accidentally running over her neck. After that day, Barrett mysteriously disappeared for a month, and the team was officially terrified, but then we found out that she just had mono. As field hockey went on, we came to know that Athletic Barrett, or some would call her the Train. After spending countless hours at practice perfecting dodges to eliminate defenders, Barrett would proceed to run over, trample, and bombard anyone that came near her with the ball. She kept this tactic up until the day that we played manual, when the infamous Hannah Kingsbury was so fed up with Barrett's aggression that she decided to take the end of her field hockey stick directly to Barrett's head, causing Barrett to receive a concussion. Although the Athletic Barrett may come off somewhat belligerent, she now has the HMI Barrett to cancel that out. None of us exactly know what went down during Barrett's 4 months away in Colorado. We all have our own theories, but the one that seemed to come up the most, more than others, was Hank's hypothesis of she spent her time worshipping the mountain gods and the water ponies. We all really know one thing, is that she came home with animals living in her hair, and an ability to calm down rooms of people with just one noise, and an advanced knowledge of how to build igloos big enough to live in. Either way, we all came to accept that Barrett is in fact Mother Nature. There are tons of other sides to Barrett that I haven't shared, and some that haven't even been discovered yet. But regardless, she is one of the best friends you could ever ask for, and we know you'll do great at Colorado College next year. Good luck on your speech.
HMI is a foreign word. To those of you who do know it stands for the High Mountain Institute, it often brings to mind a summer camp-like place where, according to Hank, we worshipped ponies and river gods. In reality, the High Mountain Institute is self-described as a place where nature and mind meet. Nestled in the snowy peaks of the Rockies, HMI is a community building and experiential learning program for high school juniors. There we read Thoreau's Walking and Crack Hours into the Wild while in the canyons of Utah, studied fox and bird tracks in the pillowy snow of Leadville's aspen groves, and spoke Spanish with the local Latino population. I learned how to take what I learned in class and apply it to the world around me. I learned that community is the axis around which a thriving group of people revolves, and with community comes a sense of place, a sense of belonging. Finally, I learned that hard work brings with it a greater sense of accomplishment than things done with ease. At HMI, each semester goes on 3 expeditions, mainly in Colorado or Utah. On these expeditions, we live within tarp groups, cook our meals, and attend classes with the rest of our expedition, and generally just get to live out in nature for a few weeks. It was on these expeditions that I learned how hard work truly does sweeten the end result of something. Our second expedition was right on the outskirts of Leadville. It was a backcountry ski trip, so we pulled most of our gear behind us on sleds. The first 2 nights we slept in tarps with little snow pits dug out under them. Basically, we were living in a tent with a sunken-in snow pit as a floor. This method of camping is really cold, and we were all dreaming about how warm our future snow caves would be. On the 3rd day, we reached an area of the forest suitable to build quigloos in. Quigloos take 2 days to build and are different from igloos in that they aren't made of snow bricks stacked on top of each other, but are dug out from piles of snow created a day earlier. The first day of quigloo construction was basically moving snow from one space to another. For this, we used foldable shovels and created giant snow mounds, which we then packed down by smacking the snow with our shovels and ski boots. That was the easy day. On the second day of construction came the real challenge, digging out the quigloo. After hiking up the steep cliffside with all of our gear dragging behind us, the sun had risen and was beating down on our bundled up bodies. As we finally reached our snow mound, it was time to get to work. One person digs from the top of the mound and 2 from the bottom in hopes that eventually the diggers will meet in the middle where the actual actual room of the snow cave will be. The most draining and physically hard job is called the mole. Whoever takes turns at being the mole must crawl in the little tunnel connecting the top of the cave to the bottom and dig until they see the light. This job is so awful because you come out of it soaking wet from the dripping snow, claustrophobic from being cramped in the little snow tunnel, and sore from using a giant shovel in such a small space. After hours of digging and a rotating mole shift, we are finished with our clay glue. The inside was large enough for 3 girls to sleep and stand in. We had an awesome kitchen outside equipped with refrigerator, shelves, and a stovetop. To top it off, we had a bench fully outfitted with a sleep pad and a backrest where we could eat our meals. As the sun began to set, we cooked dinner and put the finishing touches on our clay glue. When we were completely finished, my 2 camp buddies and I sat on our newly completed snow bench, full of hot chocolate and pad thai, and looked out over our hard work. Our snow shelter was perfect, our kitchen was exemplary, and to top it off, the moon was settling in above us as the tiny lights of Leadville twinkled below in the distance. The 3 of us just sat there for a second, taking in the beauty of what we had just built. Then, as if on some kind of timer, our faces split into one huge synchronized smile. A feeling of amazement, self-respect, and accomplishment washed over me and my campmates as the realization that we had successfully built our own house sunk in. When writing this speech, I asked the girls who I built the snow cave with how they remembered this experience. We all agreed that the sensation we felt that night is indescribable, but one of the girls came close by saying, "I guess it's just that things are so much more beautiful when you make them with your own hands. When you understand all the hard work that makes one seemingly small thing possible, that one thing becomes so much more valuable. It is also about doing the work as a team, where all the parts have their place and the end result is so equally shared." If building a clay glue had been easy, it wouldn't have been nearly as satisfying as it was. If applying to and completing a semester HMI had been easy, it wouldn't have been worth it. To me, things in life that take hard work and maximum effort, and things that are created with your own hands, are the ones that have the most impact on me as a whole. These things are the ones that I remember in the future and be proud to share.